You're listening to The Score, a podcast for Valley sports enthusiasts.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Score podcast. And we are happy to have the national champion YSU Bowling Team with us. We're happy to have head coach Doug Kaburski and the three of the six seniors, Madison Marks, Jade Cote, and Kirsten Moore. And welcome and congratulations to everybody.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Coach, let's just start with you. Winning the national championship, obviously, it's a special feeling.
It is. There's moments where it sinks in completely, and then there's moments where it doesn't feel real. So but more of those real moments are happening, and it's truly special. I'm happy to be home with the group and celebrating this week.
And we're going to start with Madison from Madison Marks, who is from Minnesota. Madison, maybe just the experience of going to the NCAA tournament. You guys have been there, but to finally win it.
It's definitely a crazy feeling. For me, it still hasn't sunk in yet. So I think just all of the love and support around us has definitely made that a lot easier. But going there for the third time, it's a dream come true. I mean, it's every bowling team's dream to keep bowling in April, and that's exactly what we did. But to end my senior year on a national championship, that's kind of the main goal, like the whole time. And I think it's really, really settling that you finally get your dream.
Sure. Also, to my left, we have Kirsten Moore and Jade Cote. Kirsten, let's begin with you. You're from Talmadge, so this is kind of a homecoming for you, isn't it, to bowl for YSU?
Oh, yeah. When I started looking for colleges that I wanted to bowl at, it was convenient that Youngstown's, just 45-minute drive from home. But this was the first visit that I came on, and I had a great time meeting Coach and meeting the girls. And I remember coming home and my parents saying, "Don't get too excited because you still have more visits left." But ever since my visit, I knew I wanted to come here, and it's obviously worked out really well for me and the girls and Coach. So couldn't have made a better choice for myself.
And last but not certainly least is Jade Cote from Canada. And Jade, I know you're the talker of this group, right? So, but to be part of this, you've been here a long time, and to finally cap off your career, your college career, by winning it. What's it mean to you?
It just means a lot. Like, I didn't even know I was going to get the opportunity to bowl in college because it's not really big back home, and I didn't even know if I was going to actually make the jump to come to the U.S. because everything during COVID and stuff, I didn't know if it was going to be a thing. And so coming here, I knew, this group of girls is something special, and, being able to get to Final Four 2 years in a row, was crazy. But last year, we came up short, so this year being able to, come out on top was really, really something that was fun.
Coach, you have 6 seniors. We have half of them here, and I know it's a team effort, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, all 9 of our ladies played big roles throughout the season. Really, to secure one of those top 4 seeds for the tournament is huge. You get some benefits, especially the lane choice at times, and everybody played a role in earning that number 3 seed and getting us into the postseason. And then we did a lot of different things with lineups at the regional and the Final Four to get it done. So absolutely, total team effort.
In Madison, I know we have a lot of new listeners. Bowling at the collegiate level, I mean, you guys could spend a lot of time out there bowling in one match, right? So how do you kind of keep your composure and everything?
You just make sure that your adrenaline is in check. That's one thing that we've kind of worked on, especially throughout the years. We just try to save our energy for the bigger moments so we can have that energy throughout the day. But just making sure you really reset in between matches, get your snacks, get your waters, and all of that stuff, and really stay calm, cool, and collected.
Kirsten, you've been part of this program for a while. I mean, you guys were there last year. You guys were kind of ticked off you didn't win last year, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. This is the third time the program has been there, and every year you don't come out with the championship. There's always there's just that push the next season. Just, you were so close, and that you can get there and you can win the whole thing. So we definitely had that drive after making it to the Final Four last year, and everything went right for us this year. It was incredible.
and Judd, when did you know this team really had an opportunity to win it all? I know, it's a goal of every team, but to actually go out there and do it, was there a time of the year where you thought, hey, we're pretty good, we can win this whole thing?
I think it's hard to pinpoint a specific moment because, some tournaments will go our way, some don't. We just we work so hard and everything. I think regional, just winning the 2 matches on Friday and being able to sleep in, and we were we got this. We we deserve to be here. So does every other team, but like we can prove to everyone that we deserve to go to Final Four. So I think we just have been working so hard, like as individual and as a team, that it's just whatever. Like it's just the practice that's actually showing up on the lanes.
Yeah, and anybody can answer this, but Coach, we'll start with you. The practice that this team put in, it was a driving force because of what happened last year, right?
It was. I don't think it took us very long after we got back from Detroit last year to get back to work. I think you can just tell that there was a nice level of we wanted to get back here and finish the job, and we learned so much from last year, all the mistakes and the good things we all did in Detroit to put it into play this year. And the class schedules, they've made practicing challenging as a team. We've done some creative things with morning practices, thanks to Holiday Bowl, to let us open up the place at 7, 8 a.m. some days to work on our stuff. Saturday morning practices, doing a lot of individual work, working around those class schedules because the bunch of smarty pants we have and a lot of intricate majors. So we found a way to make it work and put in the work to get back there and finish the job.
What made this team so good? Anybody? What made this team so good?
I think part of it is that we had so many people coming back after last year. We lost Megan, who was a big part of the team, but having 6 people come back, there's a level of experience there that is really beneficial, but it's also good that we are here to show the underclassmen the way forward. I guess there's a big learning curve when you jump from high school to college, and so just being able to give that expertise to the underclassmen that are coming in, I think has been so helpful all year long.
And I think the chemistry that we have also already built up from last year and the precedent years, from having 6 returning like girls, like that's a pretty big part of it too.
Yeah, I think the drive of all of us really helps. I mean, after last year, like we said, we just did come up short, and I think we realized once we got back, like, hey, we really do have a chance at this. Let's work harder, let's push harder. And so I think it finally just all came together for us.
And again, for anybody, the setting for the final match was a little bit different, right? I mean, you had lights. I mean, you had people down. I mean, because for TV purposes, I mean, let's face it. So the setting was different, wasn't it? How did you guys kind of adapt to that?
I don't, for me personally, I thought it was going to be much worse than it was. The only main difference that I felt was the light. It was much brighter than it usually is in a bowling center when we bowl. All the cameras and the people on the side and in the back, I didn't really focus on them. Like when I was going up to throw a shot, I didn't even see them really. It's really just that it was brighter for me.
Yeah, I think, we had people who had been on the show before messaging us, giving us advice. You're under the lights for the first time. It's going to be nerve-wracking, but I think I can speak for most of us that the lights and the cameras, they were cool. It was a fun atmosphere. It was something so different than we had ever done before. I don't think we were nervous being under that stuff. I think we just fueled that into energy and the drive to win.
Yeah, I just pretended like it was just me and the girls up there. That's really it. But honestly, it really was a lot better than I thought it was going to be, too. I thought it was going to be really hot and I was going to be sweating, and it wasn't that at all. I was just pretty chill.
Yeah, my focus was not to be reactive. It was just to really whatever the Pins decided to do was okay, and we're just gonna act accordingly and focus on our process. So I think everybody did a good job. Whether we got good breaks or bad breaks, we just stayed very cool and calm and positive energy throughout. No matter what the outcome was, we gave it our all.
Yeah, but isn't that nervous a little bit because the whole alley's shut down, right? I mean, it's just 2 lanes, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, so just looking at it was completely different than from your other matches that you had there, right?
It helped us too. I know a couple of our close friends and a few of my mentors, Coach Amber with SFA, Coach Justin with Arkansas State, called in and gave us some advice and from their experiences on multiple shows. And these ladies have also bowled a lot of professional events and Team Canada, Team USA events, regionals, national stops, and you name it. So I think they were prepared for that kind of moment.
Was there nerves? Because again, earlier in the day you had to win and you beat Nebraska to move on to face Jacksonville State. So you had some time. They rested all day.
Oh, yeah.
Is resting huge in bowling?
Both ways.
Yeah, honestly, I think depending on the team, it can be beneficial or it can hurt you. I think it was good for us that we were up and moving early. We had that match, and I think we felt more warmed up for the championship match. Some teams like getting that extra rest in the morning, but some teams, if you don't bowl all day, it can be detrimental to you when you only get best 4 of 7 to win the championship match. So I think it just depends on the team.
Yeah, I've seen that both ways. I think it definitely helped us to have that 3-4 hour break in between and kind of, escape for a little bit, get some good food, rest up, and get our minds ready to go for the evening. But yeah, when you're going back to back, like in a regional, when you pretty much bowl all day with a very short break, it could be challenging. So it really depends on the team, like Kirsten said, and maybe the situation. But that middle of the day break really helped us prepare and get ready.
So you guys jump out to a 2-0 lead in the finals against Jacksonville State. Things are looking good, and I mean it's a best of 7, right? So you're going game right after game after game. How do you kind of keep the composure? I mean, you're up 2-0. You got to be thinking, hey, we're 2 wins away from winning it, and but they're a good team, and they battled back as all good teams do. Mm-hmm. So was there any nerves at that point or anxiety saying, hey, 2 more wins and we got it, when it was 2-0?
I think it kind of just stayed the same. Like, we know that they're really good. They can come back anytime. Like, all the matches were really close, so it really is just, like, you just got to keep throwing good shot and executing. And, like, we just were there to enjoy it because it was our last tournament of the season, our last match, and 6 of us are graduating. So I think we were just enjoying the moment, like, as a team and together.
I told the girls in the Nebraska match too to just focus on what we can control and what we can do, and you can throw the best shot of your life and the pins aren't always going to fall. You're not going to get the score that you want. So I think we did a really good job, no matter, we were 2-0, 3-1, of just focusing on what we could do as individuals and as a team, and just letting everything else go because you can't control that stuff.
Yeah, I think we were just riding the wave, honestly. Like, we were just trusting our work, trusting our practice, even all weekend, not just before the TV. But I wouldn't say there were really any nerves when we were up 2-0. And so, we just were calm and cool, and we were like, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, I kind of discussed it, and we all discussed it about just it's another match. It's like we're at Holiday Bowl practicing, and we're just going to rock our process as best we can. And I was real proud of the focus. And even before Game 7, nobody mentioned anything about a national championship. Nobody focused on the prize. It was all in that moment, and they rocked the process for sure.
So then they tied at 3. So I would think they have some momentum, and they or you elected to stay in the same lane, right?
They had the lane choice being the number 1 seed, us being 3. They got
Were you surprised they did that?
Yeah, the folks at the NCAA asked us in Vegas, and I didn't know what they were going to do, quite honestly. Yeah, it was one of those situations where lane choice is so difficult because you're dealing with an invisible condition out there. You're making your best guess. They just shot a really big game on the right lane. We shot, I think, a low 2 teen game and had a couple of shots that went high. We were needing to move left on that lane. So I think it was the right call. I do. I think we just made a couple extra good shots that Game 7, got a few hits and got it done. But I think looking at it, I think it was the right call for them. It just didn't work out.
So before we get to Game 7, now you're in a winner-take-all. Do things change at all?
Honestly, no. We called this Penguin Bowling. In most of our best 4 of 7 matches, we go to Game 7 just because we have the fight and the other team always has the fight. So, you're always going to be able to count on the other team for having those close games, and sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. So when we had to go to the Game 7, it was just like, okay, like, we weren't nervous. It's just we've been here before, we know what to do, and we got the job done. So
yeah, we all decided that we just wanted more airtime, so we had to go out with the greatest length.
So now you're in a Game 7, and Coach, I know there was TV breaks, so you had a chance to, during a normal match, after the 5th frame or halfway through, is there a break for you to talk? So
No.
So you had an opportunity, so you're in the first 5 frames, and you take there's that commercial break, and did that help, or did you say much to them?
I think it really helped. We got some, some water and some snacks, and there was some music playing. We were kind of doing some dancing and singing along a little bit with some of the music. But really, I didn't do a whole lot of shop talk, so to speak, and ladies didn't really huddle up either. We kind of just stayed in the moment. We didn't really overdo anything, and I got the heck out of the way for the most part. A little bit of an adjustment here, an adjustment there. Hey, what do you see here? But really nothing out of the ordinary.
Did you guys change anything in your second time you went up in that 7th game? Was anything changed, like, from your approach, or you hit spots in bowling, right? Was that kind of, and you were used to the lane, so did much change at all, or did you just roll your game, so to speak?
I think we just rolled our game. I think Game 7 was a little bit more emotional, knowing that it was going to be half of our last shots. So I think we were just thinking about that also. But I think we just stuck to the process, and everything stayed the same for the most part.
Yeah, I don't think many of us, at least speaking for the seniors, I don't really think that we were nervous knowing, okay, this is the last shot, you have to post this shot. Like, for me, I had more anxiety knowing that that was my last shot. I was not nervous whatsoever that we could potentially lose the match. So it's just important for me to, go up, hit my spot where I needed to go and see what happened, and, it worked out for us. So.
When going up there, it was just like, have fun. This is my last time bowling in college, and it's on TV, so I'm gonna.
It was funny as they walked back. The 6, 7, 8, and 9 before Ja got up. And every once in a while somebody would lock eyes with me after their last shot. And it was like a non-verbal. My college career is now over, kind of thing. But it wasn't really sad. It was just a kind of an acknowledgement and appreciation for, wow, that was my last frame, and it was a really good one.
Coach, it's a testament to the program when these young ladies say, they were thinking more that this was their last college shot than a national championship.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they didn't make the moment any bigger than it was, and I can guarantee you Miss Cote over there won at that last strike. Even though the strike didn't matter for the outcome, the 12th shot, she wanted to strike and end on a high note. I know it.
So take me through now. Your best bowler's your fifth bowler, correct?
The person that's striking the most that day that we trusted to get it done. But I mean, every spot is obviously important in lineups. There's a lot of art to it, but you definitely want the person striking the most in that spot.
So their fifth bowler, I think, kind of makes things interesting, maybe, if I remember correctly. But then you kind of won the match in the 10th frame.
Yeah, I mean, Danielle Henderson bowled great, and she threw a nice scalp in the 10th frame to double for them, and it forced Jod after her first strike to, I believe, get 9 on the second ball. And I didn't actually know the math at the time. I just knew
I just knew if I struck out, we won.
So we're just focused on hitting the pocket, because obviously hit the pocket, you're probably going to get 9 or better. So we made a little adjustment off her first shot because she tripped a 4. It was kind of a high flush zone, so she made a little move. And I looked at Mackenzie after she threw the second strike, and I didn't know the math. And she's like, and then we started celebrating. So
you still have to keep composure though, as the other bowlers.
Absolutely, it's really proud of ladies, and for all of us for doing a little bit of celebrating, and not overdoing it, and being respectful of the moment they were in too.
Did you guys know where you were? I mean, did you kind of know? I mean, the score right? Because on TV, it was like I don't know if the scoreboard was there down at the end.
Yeah, it was really big.
So you kind of know where you are, and so what was that feeling when, hey, we did it, we won it? What was the feeling?
I don't know how to describe it.
I keep rewatching Game 7 and the tears still. Yeah, me too.
I after Jad threw the first one in the 10th frame, I'm like, okay, I was holding Ellie's hand in front of me, and I had Kara's hand in the back, and I'm like, okay, if she gets the second one, we win. That's it. We win the championship. And a couple of us were already tearing up already, whether we had won or not. We'd made it to the show. Some of us were done. But once she got that second one, you could see us in the camera. We're all just bawling our eyes out back there. It was so fun.
So then after the match, then they kind of just give you the trophy, right? There's no formal presentation.
We run and go get it.
Coach, when you saw that happen, I know you let your team do it, as most coaches do, but that you've been so close and to finally reach that plateau, it had to be special. Your 6th year, 9 years the program's been in existence.
It was amazing, and it was definitely their moment. And when I replay the match and the celebrations, I just love to see all their different reactions, and that's what it's all about. Just having that experience and seeing the joy, hearing the joy, the screams when they grabbed the trophy I'll never forget that sound the rest of my life. And then while they were doing that, I went over to give Ron Strollo and Steep and Carol a hug, and it was quite a moment. Yeah.
And there was a nice contingent of fans out there, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Was there ever? Yeah. We travel well. And I think even if it wasn't Vegas, there would be a big contingent, but I think Vegas definitely didn't hurt that.
But when you see that, what did that mean to you ladies when you saw the people there?
Definitely helps. Having all that support from our families, but also from the school, having so many people travel with us, because it's just so fun that they're there supporting us while we do what we love.
What makes a good bowler? How would you kind of describe each of you? What makes a good bowler? I mean, I know there's practice and like any other sport, but what makes a very competitive bowler? Because you guys have been in competition, in other competitions, I'm sure. But what makes a good bowler?
I would say just having simple fundamentals, whether it's your footwork, your timing, just choices in general, but also having a strong mental game, because you do have to push through those tough moments, and you are going to fail, and you have to accept that you're going to fail, but it's how you come back from those. So I would say having simple fundamentals and a strong mental game.
Yeah, I think the mental game is half the battle. At least sometimes, you can
Oh yeah.
have great fundamentals and just be, I don't know, like a gifted athlete. But if you don't have the mental game to back that up, you can struggle and struggle. And I think that's something that coach has worked on with all of us during my time here. It's just, focusing on what you can control, being able to stay calm in between shots no matter what's going on. That stuff is so important when you are trying to make an impact, at the championship, for example.
I think the willingness to be able to learn, it's not because you're at one point and you're in college and you're like, you're telling me to do this, but I'm good enough. I don't I think that understanding that you're always going to get better and that you need to still push through and want to learn, that's also something big.
How long have you guys been bowling?
Since I've been 4.
Me too.
Say, since I was 3 that's like, what, 8? How old are we, 22? 15, 18 years, a long time.
All right. So, last gutter ball.
She got a 3 count recently.
Yeah, I did get a 3 count. I don't know about my gutter. Probably.
A 3 count. Now, what is a 3 count? I'm not bowling.
So she got off, what is that, the 6, 9, 10?
She only got, there's 10 pins, she only got 3
I got
of them.
3 off the right. Yeah.
Yeah, they all threw a lot of strikes that day, but just one shot she missed straight on, yeah. But she made the spare, so we'll let it slide.
I don't know what my last gutter was.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah,
I
I
last
do.
gutter.
Mine was my freshman year here. I don't remember what tournament it was, but coach put me in at the end of a game in the 10th frame for a fill shot. I hadn't bowled that game. And I went up and I just sailed it into the gutter.
So it happens. It's
Yeah.
like
It does
golfers
happen.
saying
It
back.
happens.
Oh, yeah, it does.
And I think we had someone do it sometime this season.
Yes,
and
not
look,
long ago.
you can be the most talented bowler in the world. You
It
are
still
going to
happens.
throw
It's
it in the
gonna happen.
gutter.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the first gutter you throw. It's not going to be the last one. You just got to roll with it. And sometimes it happens.
300s. How many 300s?
I think I have 2 or 3.
2 or 3? 1?
I have one, yeah.
I have 0.
0. Well, you better get one.
I know.
But we did get one as a baker, though.
Well, I'm old, keep in mind, so they'll catch me by the time they're my age. I think I have 9 to count, I think. 3 in Youngstown, I want to say, but I'm old. So it's still, my per year average is still behind the pace, but yeah.
So is bowling the 300 game or bowling in that national championship 7th game, what was more difficult?
I think it's kind of like the adrenaline of the last shot for your 300 is kind of was like this for the whole match, I would say. Not necessarily stress, but just the adrenaline. It's, I don't know.
I honestly would say the opposite. I think it was harder, or I had more anxiety when, okay, I could shoot a 300. When bowling in the championship game, I honestly was calm, cool, and collected, as they say. I was totally cool. I had no doubts that, I knew we were going to win. So 300 was way more nerve-wracking.
So, when you were and again, the final match is TV ready. I mean, it's. Did you guys they tell you to put some makeup on, or did you guys have to do any of that stuff, or they tell you anything?
Just how it's going to work.
Yeah.
Stay behind those tape and you go one at a time, left lane starts and then the right lane goes, and just kind of basic rules that they have for TV.
They had chairs there for the coaches. And I'm like, I decline, respectfully decline. I'm not much of a sitter, so I had to find my proper spot, and we all find our spots, like they said, and they get used to the commercial breaks and the flow of things. And because usually when you're bowling an event, it's just kind of a free for all, throw your shots when you're ready. But that you had to wait a certain time.
How much being, and you weren't in the finals obviously until this year, but at least being at the Final Four, how much did that help you guys this year when you won it all?
I think it was a big help. I know it was great to take it a step further last year, make the final day, and we were 1 match short, but we also learned a great deal. A lot of it was really just preparation for this week. I think we were all better prepared, and I definitely learned a lot of things that I could have done better last year preparing the team with equipment and just practice sessions, rest, and all the above that I think we took to heart, and it definitely helped pull us through.
Madison? Then how much did it help?
I would say it definitely helped a lot. I mean, I don't know how to word it.
But I mean, you obviously it's a different setting. It's a different arena
Yeah.
because it bounces around. But I just think being there, knowing what to kind of expect, it really helped.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think it does. Like, just kind of knowing what you're, like, going to walk in and what's going to happen, the format, like, just everything. I think it just helps in general. Like, even just on the mental side of things where it's like, I'm going in there and I know kind of what to expect and it's not just going in blind.
Yeah, we definitely had a moment to like take it all in as well as a team together. So I think that just helps a lot too.
And it's so different. The regular season, it's more of a marathon, and these tournaments are 3 days. You've got 13 matches to kind of find your footing, and we battle our way to get in those top 4 brackets by Sundays. But here, it's relatively a sprint, and the lanes break down differently because you don't have all these teams, and they're not all doing different things, and you don't have 5 matches over 7 hours. It's pretty much a couple-hour match. So a lot of differences that we learned a lot about how that affects our play and how we need to prepare for that this year. So it definitely helped.
Well, as we wrap things down, Jad, what's the future plans for you?
So I'm going home and then I'm planning to come back in the U.S. to bowl most of the PWBA tour this summer with Kirsten.
Oh, okay. And Kirsten, your plans?
Yep, I'm gonna move back home, and a couple of us, me and Jad and Nods, maybe some more. We're gonna go bowl on the women's pro tour.
So
this
when
summer.
bowling's going to be over a long time down the road, but what do you want to do in life, Jad?
I have a job lined up for when I go home, so I'm just gonna see how it goes.
That's good. And Kirsten?
Same for me. I have a job through the school right now that I'm gonna continue over the summer. I would like to get into some kind of editing work, but I'm also gonna set my sights on just going pro right now and seeing how it goes this
Awesome.
summer. So.
And Madison, your plans?
I'm also going to bowl the PWBA tour this summer, but I'm going to finish my master's degree next year and help Coach Doug and assistant.
Oh, nice.
So,
Congratulations.
I'll be
Call
here
Coach
for one
Madison
more
now.
year.
All right, there we go.
And Coach, I know your plans are to repeat. No pressure, but this obviously has to help the program in various ways.
Definitely, yeah. We're excited about the buzz that's going around there. We have a great class coming in. We have verbal commitments for 26 and hopefully 27. This will help us for that class and beyond. But yeah, the goal is to get back there and do it again. We now know what it takes, so we're hoping we can take some of these lessons and try to do it again.
Now, we're recording this before Coach throws out the first pitch at the Guardians game on Friday, April the 25th. You ready to do that?
Well, I've got to text Coach Sharpie when we're done here and see if I can get on the Eastwood Mound and practice. I got a glove from Tim Gallo. I got a baseball. I'm ready to practice and see if we can throw a strike.
Well, ladies, I know bowling doesn't get the publicity that it deserves, but congratulations on a great season. I know last year was a disappointment. Third time was the charm coach, as we talked several times, and certainly congratulations on a great season. Coach, congratulations. You're also being inducted into the Curbstone Coaches Hall of Fame, so a nice icing on the cake for that induction in May.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to that. Some ladies will be around there to celebrate that, and it's totally a team award, so very honored for that.
Okay. Well, and the mementos you guys got, we just talk about that real quick that
Yeah.
you got a little championship trophy, right?
Yes.
Where
we did.
do you guys have that? Where's yours at, Jeff?
Now it's kind of mixed up because I'm moving back home, so I kind of don't have a place for it yet. But I think I'm probably gonna put it on the shelf somewhere.
Kirsten?
Yeah, we're waiting on those to come in the mail, but I'm definitely gonna display that somewhere
you
so I
guys-
can see it every
they
day.
just-
Yeah.
Yeah, they shipped them
Yeah,
out. We
they
don't want to
shipped
get
them
them
back.
damaged on
So
the
we
plane.
didn't- yes, yeah,
But they
but-
gave us some watches. They gave us trophies, great care
Yeah,
packages,
we're-
and gifts. Amazing
yes.
stuff.
We're
So-
anxiously waiting on everything
Yeah.
to come in so we can
So
enjoy it all over again.
So nice swag.
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Final Four, they roll out the red carpet. It's awesome.
Yeah,
It's
they
awesome.
do. In our little gift box before we even started practice on Thursday, we got a Lulu bag, a speaker, and a national championship water bottle.
Very nice. Well, those are keepsakes that you guys will have forever.
Yes.
Again, congratulations. My guest today on the Sports Podcast, the Score Podcast, Doug Kaburski, the head coach, Madison Marks, Kirsten Moore, and Jad Cote. Again, congratulations on an outstanding season. The first women's national championship at Youngstown State University in school history, and the first national championship since 1997. When the football team won their fourth. But congratulations to all of you. Best of luck in your future endeavors. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
All right. A reminder, you can catch this podcast and all the podcasts throughout the month, and we'll be back next month with another podcast.